Hey, Law, are you ready to go? Because right after I'm done with the video, we're going to that wedding. Huh? The hell are you talking about again? The wedding between Sanji and Pudding, the Big Mom's tea party. I've mentioned this like every week for the past 3 months. Wedding. Oh yeah, that thing. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just thinking about not going. You know, I just got a lot of nothing to do around here today. Oh, come on now. I even got seats next to the Vinsmoke family. They're just gonna blow you away, man. Come on, you get to meet Sanji. You've always been a fan of Sanji. Yeah, you know, Sanji's alright, I guess. I'm more of a Zoro guy. Oh, is he gonna be there? No, Zoro's not gonna be... He's not even on the island. He's in Wano right now. Ah, damn it. Well, okay. Well, you have fun. I'm gonna just, chill out here.
Whose box is this?
Oh, yeah, some weird guy with a cupcake for a hat laid that on the porch this morning. I think that was for you. I didn't order any. You know what? Fuck it. Dude, are you okay? What's wrong? Oh no, I'm fine, dude. I'm just surprised. This new camera I ordered came in the mail and I just ordered it yesterday. That same day shipping shit ain't for nothing. Although it's weird, it's already turned on and it's pointed directly at me, but whatever, beggars can't be choosers. Hey everybody, Tekking101 here, and welcome to the belated review of Chapter 852, titled The Consummate Thinker. Ah, I see. We're still consummating though, so I don't know how I feel about that. But I know what Shanks and Buggy feel about that. They feel like playing Magic the Gathering in this very interesting cover page. I love that. I mean, because first off, we don't get to see Roger really at all in the story, whether cover page or not. So that's pretty cool. We get to see Roger and Rayleigh back there, but then we get to see Shanks and Buggy in their days as apprentices on Roger's crew, just fucking around with trading cards. Shanks probably cheated, the bastard. But, yeah, so that just, I don't have anything to say about that. That's just a really cool cover page. Alright, so the chapter opens up. This is the tea party, guys. We're here. We're arrived at the tea party. It's going down right now. So, you know, RSVPs are off the table. I got an invite and you didn't, so suck it. It's gonna be an awesome time. I'm not gonna make it out alive, am I? But before we get to that, Luffy has to wake the hell up. Remember a few chapters ago, all the other Straw Hats were kind of conked out in Beijay's castle, and Beijay was like, okay, let's get this plan moving, because we only have like 20 minutes. And Jinbei is like, oh, just let them sleep, you know, they've been busy since they've gotten here. I'll wake them up 10 minutes before the plan starts, everything will be good. Oh, Jinbei, you don't really spend a lot of time around Luffy, do you? Yeah, so he slaps the fuck out of Luffy's face. You know he's using Fisherman Karate on that, too. And it's just not it's not registering. He's just not waking up. It's not happening. And all the other Straw Hats, they're like Nami and Broken Chopper, they're all awake. Which, by the way, someone brought up, last time we looked inside of Beijay's castle and we saw that all the Straw Hats were sleeping, nobody saw Brook, and people were like, ooh, what's Brook doing? Brook must be up to something. No, he's right there, so he was just probably, you know, off to the side. No one saw him there. But Pedro and Carrot, yeah, everybody's accounted for. Luffy's just not getting up there. Caesar is there as well, and he's all ready to go. He's got a backpack on, ready to get going. And all the other Straw Hats are just like, oh, yeah, the only way you're going to get him to wake up is to get food. That's the only way you're going to make it work. But I want to say even that might not help, because remember at the end of Dressrosa when they were recovering in Kiros's cabin, and even though he was eating, he was still sleeping. So it's just like, come on, Luffy, here's some meat, wake up. All Luffy's going to do is just like, meat, yeah. So he's perfected the art of sleep eating, which is an art I think most of us would like to master, you know? But no, so they're still in the process of trying to wake him up, and then we cut back over to the tea party where we see Pudding and Sanji arriving on Zeus, carried by a giant teacup, whatever, I don't know. All the homies are singing a beautiful song. It's like that scene right out of Beauty and the Beast with the the candle and the teapot singing a ballad together. I've never seen Beauty and the Beast, so I don't know. I've seen a French version of it, which was good. It was like a live action version, but I've never actually seen the famous Disney rendition of that. But anyway, yeah, they're arriving, and then we get Streusen arriving. Streusen is the dwarf guy. He's not really a dwarf. I have to specify that because dwarves actually do exist in the One Piece universe. Now, he's a rather short fellow with the mustache. He's the head chef amongst all the Big Mom pirates, and he was the one in charge of making the cake. And this is a very special day for him. He's like bawling his eyes out. You know, Big Mom is a true cake connoisseur. So she would have hired only the best of the best to prepare this cake. And Streusen has been working on this goddamn piece of pastry wonderment for like the past 6 months, like bare minimum. Like he's like breaking out freaking blueprints for this thing. Like, this is a multi-tiered cake. You see those shows where people are making these really elaborate cakes that have like moving parts and shit? Yeah, no, this is on a whole other level. Like, you can live inside this cake. You could literally rent out this cake as a condo space, okay? It needs a structure. You need to put buttresses in that are made out of, like, candy cane and shit like that. This needs preparation, okay? So, this is like his unborn child that's about to be unveiled. He's bawling his eyes out. He's like, okay, hold my hand. Oh my god, I am such a proud dad right now. And then, boom! The cake rises up in a beautiful double page. Oh man, this thing looks incredible. We got skulls, we got crosses all over the place, and the altar itself, where Sanji and Pudding are going to be betrothed, is going to be at the very top of the cake. So the cake itself is actually part of the wedding. Anyway, Big Mom begins slobbering all over the fucking table. Oh, what brilliance, what gravitas, that so yummy, I wanna eat it all. But of course, because the altar is also on top of the cake, they can't start, chowing down until the ceremony is over. So it's pretty much, they skip right to the ceremony. I thought there was going to be more involved here. Now keep in mind, the wedding is only merely the main event of the tea party. It's not like, it's just like the wedding is the main attraction here. The tea party is the main attraction. The wedding is just part of that. So they skip for more or less pretty much right to it. We get some scenes with the other members of the underworld, like Dawnfeld and Stussy or Stussy, or however you want to pronounce that. Kind of a weird scene there where when they see Pudding come down, Stussy, that the head of the underworld, the prostitution ring, essentially, the master of all pimps of the universe, she's like, oh, Pudding is so beautiful. Just reminds me of like that when I was young. And then Dawnfeld, the guy, the tycoon dude with the salt and pepper hair, he's like, I wonder how old back when that was, like 50 years ago or something. And Stussy's like, oh, shut the hell up. And I'm just looking at Stussy, I'm like, damn it, I'd tap that. I don't know what the hell's wrong with you, Dawnfeld. If that's an old woman, then go for it. Alright, we have a little bit of an intro monologue here from Big Mom. She stuffs the tongue back in her mouth long enough to strike a creepy grin that's like, it begins. And we cut to all the different scenes throughout the tea party. Everybody has a gun at this tea party. Everyone's loaded. Beijay's there. He's ready to double-cross Big Mom. All the members of the Big Mom Pirates, they have guns ready to blow their freaking heads off. This is a shotgun wedding in pretty much every definition of that word. But, yeah, so we see the Vince Smokes. They're taking their seats. They're ready to go. And Big Mom's like, oh, get ready, Vince Smokes. It's gonna time for you to die. We cut over to the Vince Smoke table really quick where we see Yonji there, who's kind of lamenting the fact that, oh damn, Sanji gets a hot piece of ass and we don't get that. And this was mentioned before. I forgot about it, so I brought it up myself, but I was wondering, like, how come the Vince Smoke sons aren't marrying Pudding? Why did you have to go through this massive freaking... Because, I understand Sanji, but it would be easier just to give them one of their sons that are already there and ready to go. And the reason being is, of course, they don't want one of their, like, prime fighting forces tied to Big Mom. So that's why Sanji, who was viewed as useless, was useful in this one scenario there. So, they just clarify that again, the reason why none of them stepped up to marry Pudding, although they definitely would have if it was just left up to them, because, they're all horn dogs like Sanji is. Reiju is looking around, and she's just wondering, like, she's once again lamenting, like, oh, the Vince Smoke should be wiped out. I don't have a problem with them getting wiped out. I guess, going along with that, she doesn't have a problem with dying. Although I have, I've always thought that, I really hope this isn't the case, but I can see this going down. I can see the ending of this arc being Reiju and Sanji having to fight each other. Because remember, Reiju doesn't want to fight Sanji, but she's still subservient to Judgy. So if Judgy makes the call, like Reiju shoots Sanji in the fucking head, she's got to do that just by her programming. So I like her, and people have even asked, maybe she'll be part of the Straw Hats. I don't think she's going to be part of the Straw Hats, but I don't want her to fucking die, and I don't want to be that emotional, because she's the only one that isn't a dick to Sanji out of his whole family. And so that feels like, oh, well, that's at least that Reiju's cool, but that's probably going to be twisted around later on, like, oh, you thought she was the one you didn't have to worry about, when in reality, But I hope it doesn't come to that, but I'm getting the vibes here that maybe it won't be a standoff, but she's going to die or get seriously injured. There's going to be some really heartbreaking moment involving Reiju at the end of this arc that I'm not looking forward to. But anyway, for more than less, we pretty much cut right to the top of the altar there, where we see a very creepy fucking reverend with starfish hair, you know, doing the typical, you know, in sickness and in health, you know, for rich or for poor, to death do you part. To live. Yeah, you're all gonna live. Yeah, you guys are gonna live a very long, hearty life. I don't even think about death. Death should be the last thing on your mind right now. Anyway, yeah, John 3:16. Anyway, it's interesting here because I seriously thought they were gonna bring up that line, because this is a very, you know, common line in weddings. You know, they were gonna bring up that, you know, for those of you that do not find this union, whatever, you know, speak now or forever hold your peace. I thought they were going to bring that up, and we were just going to get an entire scene of the tea party just dead silent. No one's even going to bother, like, sneezing or fucking farting at a time like that. It would just be like, oh. You may now kiss the bride. Okay, Jesus Christ, that was scary. You know, anyway. We cut back over to Luffy inside of the Beijing, or we can assume it's still inside Beijing, where he's waking up now. He's chowing down on some meat. He's ready to go. He's running. He's like, guys, hurry up. We're running out of time. And everyone's like, Luffy, you son of a... Oh, yeah, we're running out of time. We have to go. Diesel's ramped up. They're ready to go. Everyone's doing it. Right, so then we cut back to the ceremony, and this is the magic minute. This is the minute that Beijing was talking about here. You got, you know, like, you cherish each other, you know, blah, blah, blah. And everyone at the tea party is just, like, glaring around because we have, like, 4 different assassination attempts that are trying to go on here at the same time. Kind of like what happened with JFK. We get a scene here with Dogtooth, who peers into the future a little bit and sees that Pudding is actually going to collapse to her knees, crying with her hands over her face. And so this is just a vision. This is his really tuned observation hockey that he's witnessing. So he's peering like 5 or 10 seconds into the future or some such. And he's asking, like, what's the matter? Why are you falling down? Maybe he perhaps thinks she's going to get shot or something. The truth will surprise you, but it's not fooling me. So we cut back to the present here, what's actually happening, and right around the time when it's okay, now Sanji has to lift the veil of Pudding and to kiss her, and that's when, you know, she's gonna reveal her third eye, and then Sanji's gonna be like, ah! And then, you know, pull the gun out of her tits or whatever, and then blow his ass away, and then just shit gets unloaded. So Pudding bends down a little bit so Sanji can reveal her veil, and it's just, yeah, get ready, Vinsmoke Sanji. You're gonna be disturbed. You're gonna get killed. Their entire family's gonna get wiped out as soon as you gaze upon my eye. They lift up the veil. Boom! Her third eye is glaring right at Sanji's face, and Sanji, his reaction is, first thing he does, because this is like a split-second kind of shit here, first thing he does is he grabs her shoulders, pulls her closer, and just, like a fucking G, he's like, it's so beautiful. Yeah. Okay, I don't know if this was part of the plan. I don't know if Sanji was thinking to himself for hours and hours, like, okay, when she shows the eye, this is what I'm gonna do, this is what I'm gonna do, this is what I'm gonna do. Because earlier in this chapter, we found out that Sanji going all gaga and being like, she's so hot, I'm so awesome. That wasn't part of the plan. He was having some serious inner conflict there. Like, I gotta get your mind on the plan here. Get your mind out of your fucking penis there, Sanji. So you can take it either way. You can take it whether or not this was planned, or Sanji, this is his genuine reaction to it. Either way, we can kind of understand what's going to happen here with that. So immediately, like as like a reflex, without even like really being aware of what's going on, Pudding begins to just tear up. She begins to cry like right away. And it's Sanji's like, oh, I'm sorry. It's just I'm looking at it for the first time, and I couldn't be helped but drawn to your beautiful eye. And so everyone's like, Big Mom's looking up like, what's going on here? What's going on? You can imagine some fucking like love music is playing in the background here, like some like love triumphs all over all shit, and Big Mom's like, wait, what's going on here? Shoot him in the face. And so we cut over to Pudding now, and she's remembering all the scenes in her life when people would ridicule her eye. Even Big Mom herself was like, damn, bitch, you creepy, but you useful. And all the kids that used to pick on her when she was a kid, and that's kind of what resulted in her being a freaking bunt, as we've already clarified several times, and she went around freaking stabbing people. And okay, I know what this is. You know what? Because this shit me up when I was growing up. Now, I don't have a third eye, although, I don't have a third eye. No, let me tell you something, okay? When I was growing up, all the different, like, reality shows and shows that were aimed toward, like, like kids that were, like, going into high school. Like, so you have, like, a show on TV that was like, here's what high school is like, kids, and it was like Malcolm in the Middle and shit like that, And there's a lot of that stuff on Nickelodeon. And what those shows always taught me was, you're gonna meet a girl, and that girl is gonna be picked on by everybody else, but when you go up to her and you compliment her like you have nice eyes, all of a sudden she's gonna fall madly in love with you and wants your dick. That is not what happens in the real world. I can attest to that. But this is the kind of cliche we're talking about here, where it's like Pudding is this horrible human being that just does not give a shit about anybody. That is like so much of a bitch, like a level 10 bitch up to this point. But, no, it's not because she's like that. It's because she was always made fun of as a kid, and everyone didn't like her eye and thought it was freaky. That's the reason she's such a bitch, and the second that she gets a compliment, she begins to tear up like, oh my god, I love my third eye, oh my god, Sanji, you're not as bad as I thought. Damn it, that's not how it works, okay? You don't get to rewrite the shit. Maybe not. Oda's probably not trying to get a massive amount of sympathy here, but it's not coming from me. You can feel sorry for her, fine, but I'm under the impression, like, okay, so basically, alright, if you're a dick to just everybody around you, then, it's all just because of your childhood, all you need is some positive reinforcements, and it just gets washed away like the wind. Maybe it works in manga land, doesn't work so well in the real world, but that's the cliche we're going with here. Pudding begins to tear up and begin to cry, and she's like, oh, I gotta kill him, but he was so nice to me. He gave you, like, one compliment, so maybe that's the first compliment she's ever received in her life. I don't know. If you feel sorry for her, I don't, whatever. Personally, if I had a friend growing up that had a third eye, that'd be cool. I mean, come on, no kids are brats sometimes, but damn, you have a third eye? That is so freaking badass. I would be like, oh, cool, I want to hang out with you, but that's just me. Anyway, the rest of the family figures out pretty quick that this shit ain't happening. Pudding's not opening the fire, so Dogtooth decides to take it onto himself, so he breaks out his death jelly beans, flicks one right at Sanji. So Sanji uses observation Aki of his own, and he already is aware that it's coming, so, he knows people are going to probably bust out shots, like, well, Pudding isn't firing, so probably somebody else will. So he zooms out of the way, he misses, the jelly bean misses Sanji and flies right up and hits the Reverend. Oh yeah, the Reverend was going to take out a gun and shoot Sanji too, but it didn't pan out. So Dogtooth's jelly, that's one advantage of, he could see into the future, but he couldn't see everything very clearly. Like, he didn't know Sanji was going to dodge. Okay, and he probably also didn't see the Reverend pulling out a gun, so Dogtooth kind of screwed himself over there. He was like, oh, I have to do something, I have to take action, I have to act on my vision, and he acted on his vision, and it resulted in Sanji still not being dead and the Reverend actually, like, screwing it up. So, keep in mind, they're just seeing the future a few seconds isn't always a absolute what's going to happen, just what might happen if these series of events keep going on. So, Sanji dodges the bullet, the Reverend gets dropped, and then everyone at the tea party, like the Vince Smokes, get up and is like, what's going on? People are firing shots. Now, I didn't trust this bitch. Dogtooth jumps in front of Big Mom, and it's just like, I'm sorry, Mama. Sorry, I can't stop this. It's going going down. And everyone's like, oh, what's gonna happen next? Then you see Brûlé there, and she's like, I'm sorry, Mama, they told me to. At this point, everybody that's not involved with the assassination plots are just like, okay, get your check. We have to pay the check. No, let's go. Let's get the hell out of here. People are jumping over the side of the cake, probably. But no, we got the climax now. Luffy, last scene of the chapter. Here we go. Give me Sanji back. Cake begins to rumble, and then boom! We all thought Luffy was going to jump out of the cake, but little twist on that, kind of a common thing, a shit ton of Luffy's pop out of the cake. Yeah, so using Brûlé's mirror power, she took a bunch of the animals from the forest, and she could replicate Luffy's appearance, his clothing and everything, and just had them all explode. So I would assume that when those, remember last chapter, I think it was, when those fire tank pirates were hiding as chefs, and they were like, you know, we just got back from the kitchen, they were probably implanting the mirror inside of the cake, and then that's when, boom, it explodes, and then all the Luffys pop out, so they're not going to know which Luffy to go after, so that's really smart move. And yes, I'll make the joke that everybody else made, you know, Monkey D. Luffy, Kagebushi no Jutsu, oh, yeah, it's crazy, there's so many of them. And everyone's looking like dumbfounded here. We don't know how many Luffys there are, but there's at least a dozen, possibly more. And then you see Big Mom, last scene of the chapter, just doing the thing with her eyes, and she's like, what? This is most unorthodox! The cake has exploded with a bunch of monkeys! Ah! So, yeah, shit is gonna get live. There's gonna be freaking gum pistols, there's gonna be gunshots all over the place, people are gonna be pulling guns out of every part of their body, you're gonna be freaking jelly beans flying, you know, a freaking dog tooth's gonna take like a whole bunch of jelly beans in his hand, just gonna like, pew, 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 pew. It's gonna be fucking madness next chapter, and we're probably gonna see Luffy die, like, a lot. If nothing else, that's gonna be weird to see, you know, like Dogtooth's gonna grab Luffy and just crack his neck, and it's like, oh shit, not that one, oh shit, not that one, shit, not that one, you know, so we might see Luffy get shot and killed a lot next chapter, but in this madness, in this insanity, they're gonna try to get Sanji, and you know what's gonna happen, I just guarantee you know what's gonna happen. They're gonna go rescue Sanji, they're gonna get on top of the altar, it's gonna be like, Sanji, let's go! And then Sanji's gonna be like, I can't leave Pudding! And then they're gonna be like, fuck, okay, bring her, we gotta go, and it's gonna happen. I don't know. Okay, you know what? You're gonna have to do a lot more than that, Oda. Make me feel good about that bunt. You're gonna have to make me feel a lot freaking more. Okay, you're gonna have to have her do something like take down a sweet commander or something in order for me to feel like she's somewhat kind of redeemed. And then maybe gets on the ground before Luffy and Sanji, and then like prostrates herself like, I am so sorry for what I did. And even then, I don't know if that's gonna cash your check, bitch, but we'll start with that. But yeah, that's the end of the chapter, and it's gonna be insanity. The wedding didn't last as long as I thought. I thought it was gonna be more. Then it was gonna be like a chapter or two focused on just the wedding, but we pretty much get right into the action here. So I'm pumped. What's gonna happen next, I don't know. Like I said, Reiju, something's gonna go down with them, with her, definitely. Probably gonna be a very heart-wrenching ending there with that. So with that and all the bunch of Luffys, and the plan is in place, and I mean, the plan is still going along basically how Beijing wanted, so he's gonna try to destroy that picture, and we'll see how Big Mom reacts to that, and then takes out the freaking rocket launcher, and then we'll see where that goes. But the picture is definitely real. We didn't see it in this chapter, but if they can knock down that, but you think in all this madness, that's just the vibrations would knock it over. So we'll see how that goes. Next time on One Piece. Yeah. See you guys. Signing out.